5 at the back, no intention to attack. Got what we deserved. Welcome to Nick's COYS Corner. Before we start, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel and click the bell to receive notifications. Well, another shocking performance in a London derby. A disgrace, to be quite honest. I didn't expect us to win, but I at least expect my team to have a go. Frank's negative team selection and mentality is so small time and a betrayal of everything our club stands for. We were meant to be getting an adaptable manager. Looks more like a pound shot Mourinho to me so far. I'm fuming. As soon as I saw the team, I knew what we were in for. 5-4-1, Polinia and Bentancur in a double pivot. No number 10 either. I knew what was coming. The shape and the selection meant we effectively conceded the midfield completely and any desire to get on the ball and try to make things happen. It was pretty clear from the start what our intention was. To sit back, to try to frustrate Arsenal and try and somehow nick a 0-0 if we got lucky. The problem was we were so negative and so defensive, we couldn't relieve pressure at all. We had so many numbers back and we never committed numbers forward. We just couldn't give the defence any respite. And when you do that, you're always going to concede. There's just too much pressure on the keeper and the defence to try and keep a good team out. We ended up just smashing it long, constantly, just giving the ball back to Arsenal time and time again. The failure to relieve pressure, combined with the fact we were sitting so deep, just allowed Arsenal to play higher and higher up the pitch under no real pressure and just bombard us. And this kind of approach just isn't sustainable. Our shape meant that the two centre midfielders were completely outnumbered by Arsenal. And this is the problem when you play a 3-4-3. It's why I don't like playing with wing-backs. You don't have enough numbers further up to try to press. You just get outnumbered in midfield and end up getting deeper and deeper. You end up with a back 6, which I'll show in some clips in a minute. Even our wing-backs never left our half. That's how negative we were. And we had Udogie and Spence. With their athleticism and speed, they should be able to get up and down that flank. It just never happened. Their opening goal was inevitable. We managed to hold out, but it was always coming. Make no mistake about that. As you can see here, we've got a back 6 effectively because Odebear is so deep. But what's remarkable about this goal is how passive we are and how easily we allow them to cut through us despite having so many numbers back. So as you can see, Arsenal push forward here on the right hand side with Saliba, and Bentancur has actually gone to press. So very hesitant, doesn't get close enough. Saliba bypasses him. Look at Van der Ven's position here. He's stepped out of defence, but he's not marking anyone. He's not near to anyone. And this is instructional. There is no way a centre-back like Van der Ven just wanders out of defence like this. This is clearly instructional, but the problem is we don't get close to anyone. And what ends up happening is Arsenal exploit the space behind Van der Ven. We've still got enough numbers, though, to deal with it. Play progresses, but watch Udogie. He has to follow Saka's run inside. And we get to this scenario. Now, Udogie is basically where Van der Ven should be, but he's actually a bit too deep because he's followed his run. And then you've got Spence with Trossard. And then you've got Kudus, Polinia and Richarlison near Mourinho. And this sums up how passive we were. Not one of them engages him, gets into him, stops him, makes him turn back. They all just back off. They all say, no, it's your man, you can take him. Oh, maybe I shouldn't tackle him. I should step off and defend deeper because that's what we need to do. So what ends up happening from here, Polinia drops back 5 yards, just leaves him. Kudus doesn't engage him. Richarlison's the only one that actually makes some kind of an effort, but it's very half-hearted. It allows Mourinho all the time in the world to pick out a pass. Spence doesn't even bother to follow his man. They try to play offside, but as you can see from this shot here, it's a mess. Udogie's playing him on, and the reason for that, Udogie's come inside to try and cover the space Van der Ven left, but he gets completely mixed up and he allows Saka to go in there, and he gets way too deep. And what he should have done is just let him go, because he's not really in a position to hurt us there, Saka, and he can keep his eye on him. And he should have tried to play the offside, because that's obviously what we were committed to. But the real frustrating thing here is we've got so many numbers back, and yet one pass straight through the middle cuts us open. To be honest, for me, Spence When there's that little space to cover, Spence should forget the offside. Spence should just follow Trossard in. He's so quick, Spence. It would easily stop Trossard, easily. And so it's poor defending from both wing backs here. But more importantly, as a team, just way too passive and an awful shape. And of course, Eze was always going to score, wasn't he? That was inevitable. But let's look at his goals and just watch the positions he scores them from and how we deal with it. So this is the first one. Look where Bentancur and Paulinho are. They're nowhere near Eze. And we overload one side so much and Arsenal just play through it and across. It leaves us completely exposed. And then both Paulinho and Bentancur make poor challenges. Eze skips through the pair of them and obviously scores. The next goal, you can see here again, look at Paulinho here and look at Bentancur over here. They're way too far across. And look at the space Eze has when he receives the ball. So easy for him. Kudus is the only player getting near him. It's ridiculous. You've got 5 at the back. You've got 2 holding midfielders and you can't even close down the man in the central area on the edge of the box. It's crazy. And then the last goal from Eze. Sarr is with him. Ball gets played behind. Here, Sarr's now left Eze. Like in the space of 2 or 3 seconds, just completely left him. He's completely on his own. Udogie tries to come across and help, but he had his own man, to be fair, as well. Eze does well and obviously buries it. But 3 goals scored from a very central position when you're playing a back 5 and 2 holding midfielders. It's crazy. It should not be happening. It just summed up how passive we were, really. Our goal was a freak out of nothing, really, obviously at 3-0. Fair play to Richarlison for the finish. It was superb. We had a 10-minute spell after that, maybe, where we actually tried to play a little bit of football, albeit with very limited success. Xavi had a positive influence to a degree, but there was only so much he could do when the game was already dead. The passiveness from the players was a direct result of the coach's shape and his mentality, and it told them subconsciously they're not good enough to compete. And I think we saw that in the performance and the way we played. And yeah, it's just not good enough. Overall, an unacceptable display. I didn't expect us to win, but I always expect us to have a go. Frank's mentality is so small time, it's not acceptable for a club like Spurs. Time and time again, he has shown no bravery, defensive, negative football, with his team selections and a complete lack of movement or will to actually play football on the ball. And this is reflected in all of the metrics in terms of possession, shots on goal, chances created, through balls, everything you want to see, basically. We're poor in every metric. This was one of the worst displays I've ever seen in this fixture in my entire life, possibly the worst. I've seen worse Spurs teams take on better Arsenal teams and put up more of a fight than that and have more of a go. And on Frank, I just don't know where we go from here. I don't think he has it in him to change. People generally show you who they are. And we've seen what Frank is in multiple matches now. He's a defensive manager. And quite frankly, a coward at the moment. He is so focused on what the opposition do and how we can stop them, that he completely neglects us, what we can do, how we can hurt the opposition on the ball. He's only worried about long balls, second balls, long throws, set pieces. He's completely obsessed and he neglects everything else. And it's to the detriment of all of our players and the club as well. His comments make every opponent we face sound like prime Barcelona. Even when we play bottom place Wolves at home, who are terrible this season. Yeah, tough game, yeah. No, he's implemented 0 patterns of play in possession, aside from smashing the ball down the channel to Kudus. And this applies to build up, settle possession, and play in the final third. He's basically made us Brentford 2.0 at this point. We look clueless on the ball. No one knows what to do. He's too scared to play progressive players. He always defaults to this Bentancur and Paulinho pivot, which doesn't and won't ever work. The balance is not right. You're never going to get the best out of the talented players that we do have playing the way we are. And I know we need some better players in the transfer market. For sure, there are areas we need to improve. But we have enough talent in this team to put up more of a fight than what we are seeing and show more intent going forward. Meanwhile, he thinks Bergvall is a number 10 and he hasn't made him the main man in centre midfield. To me, that's crazy. He's a mega talent and he was our player of the season last year, and the team should be built around him in midfield. Such is his ability. To me, it just seems more and more like we've made another massive mistake. You see, the issue with Ange wasn't he was too attacking. The good thing about Ange was that he believed in our motto. Finally, after so many managers that didn't, we had someone that did since Poch. The problem Ange had was with the details within his system, the rest defence shape, the way we pressed, the players he picked for certain roles, not controlling matches enough or showing enough ability to control intensity to minimise transitions. Instead of finding another attacking manager to take over, one who would hopefully provide a little bit more balance, a bit more willingness to tweak things in the system, we've instead chucked it all in the bin again, done another 180 and gone for the ultimate pragmatist who just wants to defend and smash it long. And this is the problem at Spurs. We never have a consistent strategy. Ever since we sacked Poch, we threw away everything he built and got successive defensive managers, Mourinho, Nuno, Conte, reactive managers that threw away everything that Poch had built for us. We finally get another attacking coach. Yes, a bit too far the other way. We get some silverware. We've got something to build from after winning that. And instead of following up with another attacking coach who can build on that and add layers to that attack mindset, we dump him and we go back to a defensive manager, the complete opposite. And then we sit here and wonder why our players don't develop, why our squad is in a constant state of flux. There is no continuity at Spurs. We need to stick to our principles. Spurs managers have to be brave and they have to want to attack. It's as simple as that. If you don't believe in attacking football, if you don't believe in having a go, you shouldn't be Spurs manager. Simple as that. It should be carved in stone in the halls of Hotspur Way. Thou shalt not manage Spurs unless thou believes in there is to do. All we can do now is pray for a miracle and hope that Frank finds it within himself to transform. Be brave, be attack-minded. If he doesn't, we'll be sat here looking for a new manager sooner rather than later. Let me know what you thought about the Arsenal match. What did you make of the team selection and the approach? How do you feel about Thomas Frank now? Let me know in the comments below. Please make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell to receive notifications. And as always, come on you Spurs.